be seated.
Honorable Prime Minister Philip Davis, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Your Excellency Mokgweetsi Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, honored and distinguished guests, good afternoon. I'm Kishla Adderley, Acting Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister. The Bahamas is pleased to have hosted His Excellency Mokgweetsi Masisi, the President of the Republic of Botswana, and his delegation over the last 2 days in an official visit which we believe has deepened enduring bonds between our two countries. It is our hope that the series of ministerial meetings centered around education, agriculture, and culture, among other areas, have yielded an exchange of ideas, strengthened diplomatic ties, and produced new friendships. Please welcome the Honorable Philip Davis and President Mokgweetsi Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana.
I should speak from here. First of all, welcome to conference.
Test.
Welcome to the press conference. Today stands as a testament to the strength and potential of international relations, as we in the Bahamas warmly welcome the President of Botswana and his delegation. Not merely an official visit, but the growth of a deeply rooted friendship between our nations. This administration is actively strengthening its foreign policy, and the visit of the President of Botswana stands as a clear evidence of this commitment. These engagements highlight our dedication to deepening existing ties and exploring new partnerships, underscoring our nation's proactive stance in the global community. Throughout history, nations have found strength and prosperity, not just through self-reliance, but through the forging of strong friendships. And in this complex global environment, the importance of these partnerships cannot be overstated. Our meeting today, the dialogues of the past few days, and our future engagements are anchored in the spirit of camaraderie. Notably, both nations stood in solidarity during the re-election of the Commonwealth Secretary General, Baroness Patricia Scotland, underscoring our shared commitment to multilateral cooperation. Additionally, our mutual support in the candidatures for the Joint Inspection Unit and the International Maritime Organization further reflects our united front on the international stage. Our discussions have been both wide-ranging and profound. We have deliberated on mutual interests, particularly focusing on the sectors of tourism and agriculture. These areas, integral to both our economies, provide a canvas on which both the Bahamas and Botswana can jointly paint a picture of sustainable growth and development. Further solidifying our commitment, I am pleased to announce the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Bahamas and Botswana. This MOU, comprehensive in its scope, touches upon areas not limited to economic development, cultural relations, tourism, environment, agriculture, health, education, and financial services. Through this agreement, we aim to foster deeper collaboration, leverage our unique strengths, and jointly address challenges to ensure mutual progress. the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for our nations from tourism, governance, are mirrored in the ambitions of Botswana's Vision 2036 and the Bahamas' Vision 2040. We anticipate that this visit will further consolidate our partnership and pave the way for enhanced cooperation in areas that align with the vision and aspirations of both our nations. True friendships, as we understand them, are not static. They demand care, mutual respect, and a consistent effort to grow stronger. With this visit, we have revisited our shared goals and set the stage for future engagement. As we approach the conclusion of this visit, I would like to convey my deepest appreciation to President Masisi and his delegation. Their presence and commitment to this friendship have been truly commendable. While this visit might be short in duration, the bonds we have fortified will last for years. In the days ahead, may we look back at this time as a pivotal moment when two friends, separated by geography, but united by shared values and took decisive steps toward a brighter partnership. Today, we say thank you with your presence. President Masisi, words?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, dear ministers from the Bahamas and Botswana, senior officials, members of the media, very good afternoon. You might wish to begin by pardoning us because it's surely going to sound like it's a meeting of a mutual admiration society. Because I echo the words of the Right Honourable Prime Minister in toto. For those of you who may not know, Botswana and Bahamas began their diplomatic relations in the year 2006. Preceding that, the then Prime Minister of the Bahamas, His Excellency Prime Minister Ingram, visited Botswana, paid a state visit to Botswana in 1999. And immediately following that, the then President of Botswana, President Justice Mokgweetsi, visited the Bahamas in 2000. Bahamas and Botswana are sovereign nation states, both coming out of a historical past that was led by the British prior to our independence. And so we became members of the Commonwealth. We're both members of the United Nations system and other organizations of common interest. We both have a legal framework that's born out of Roman Dutch law. We both are committed to the separation of powers. We both are committed to democratic dispensation. We both are committed to the rule of law. We both have a public service that was structured very much out of the British Foreign Service system. We both have adopted English, not our native tongue, but English as a medium of instruction and official language. And so it stands to reason that the common values we share may in some part have been informed and influenced by our past histories. But be that as it may, these shared values seem to have worked for Botswana and for Bahamas. For Prime Minister Phillips, Davis, and I, are only continuing the legacy of our predecessors in their friendships. And these friendships are purposive. They are for the good of both nations. For not only do we share values, but we also share ambitions. Bahamas has its Vision 2040. Botswana has its Vision 2036. And if you read both documents, there's a lot of tessellation, a lot of commonality. And these are the basis for the strong bilateral relations that we're rekindling by this visit. And I want to thank Prime Minister Davis, because when we met last year on the margins of the United Nations General Assembly, he so graciously and gladly, with a friendliness only a Bahamian can master, invited me to undertake the state visit along with my wife. So I really thank you for the invitation, Prime Minister. We have had a roaringly successful visit, and more than anything else, yes, we lived up to the dictum of the Bahamas and had sand between our toes. And not just in Nassau, in Exuma, with the pigs, swimming. And so we immersed in deep political dialogue where we exchanged views and agreed quite quickly after we explained the positions of each other to one another on voting patterns and support for each other's. Everything the Prime Minister asked of me in terms of Botswana's position, we yielded to. And so if we're to count for the vote, Botswana's vote is there, Bahamas. And what we asked of the Bahamas in terms of vote and alignment, we got. We came here focusing on several sectors the Prime Minister referred to, tourism being topmost on our list. And there's a reason for that. Because your tourism is among the best in the world. Why should we not associate with the best? We've come to ask for help. Prime Minister has yielded. We go home with the promise and expectation that we'll get help, and the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And so our tourism, difference that it may be, should also improve. We came with the sector, agricultural sector, and we have a variety of things that we do, so does Bahamas. And so in the intense discussions, consistent with the MOU signed, we've forged a partnership that should benefit both countries. We've come with a sector in financial services led by our governor of the central bank, and he met his counterpart. And we, in that sector too, we're going to intensify our collaboration. We also have a shared history in terms of our experiences in the blacklisting and the successful exiting out of blacklisting and the mutual commitment never to get back into that. We come here as friends with the sector of education. We come here friends in our manifestation of our multipartism. And so I had the opportunity to meet the leader of the opposition and one of his mates. I too brought our own opposition member of parliament to meet his friends as we met as those in ruling parties. And so when friends come together in this spirit, it can only be for the benefit of both countries, the economies, and the people. So we urge you, the public service of both countries, the political leadership of both countries, to realize our dreams and ambitions and these commitments that we've made to one another and uplift the people of the Bahamas and the people of Botswana through this change. I had opportunity to present a lecture to the staff students of the University of Bahamas and engage in an interactive session with the students and some members of the faculty in an open, transparent academic setting. And there too, we were able to make a commitment to have the institutions independent in academic pursuit as they are, to forge a partnership dedicated to research and pursuit of knowledge and excellence. And so the experience we've garnered from our research, particularly in the big two health threats we faced of HIV and AIDS and COVID pandemic, we're more than happy to share those experiences. Because we may have one or two more universities in UDU and places, and perhaps a broader diversity of courses we offer, for those that interest you at graduate level and doctoral level, the ministers would engage in this, and there would be some scholarships that we could afford to offer. We made that, Prime Minister, all in the name of friendship. All in the name of friendship. Countries, leaders, exhibiting their affinity to one another for the purpose of moving the economies and the people forward. And to round it off, we are also going to be attending the G77 plus China as of tomorrow in Cuba. And we'd follow that through by going off to the United Nations General Assembly, where we as individual persons met and cemented this. And so if we were to take it further than this state visit, it'd probably be on the margins of the United Nations General Assembly once again. And so I really want to thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and it was a delight to fly with your predecessor, Prime Minister Ingram, a wonderfully delightful man, and a reservoir of wisdom and knowledge, and experience the whole day with both of you. One of the things that we also take away as a delegation was to watch both of you from a distance in friendship and solidarity with no issues between the two of you. It's something to guard jealously and to celebrate. So we really applaud your peace and your humanity and your commitment to these ideals of good governance and peaceful transitions. And finally, I cannot go without thanking the media of Bahamas. I've never come across a media that's so dedicated to taking good pictures. I mean, they were not shy about stopping us, making us pose and do all sorts of things. And so I really appreciate their commitment to share these, which really forms part of the ecosystem and the subset of your tourism enterprise, because they want good images to go out there. They want to sell the happiness or market the happiness and show people that this was a highly successful state visit. And just for your information, to make sure I don't leave it not known, I had the big fortune of meeting and paying my courtesies and respects to the Governor General. Glad that she told me that for my visit, it was her first official assignment, engagement. And so I felt quite proud to invite her to my own country to undertake an official visit. And since I learned that the Prime Minister and the Governor General don't travel at the same time, I asked them to decide who comes before the other, because I've invited my brother here and his dear wife to come to Botswana, and we too can show off a bit of what we have, which is different. And by extension, I invite all Bahamians to come to Botswana and visit. There, I'm certain If you perambulate the streets of Gaborone, the capital city, you will surely see somebody who looks like you and is probably your relative. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.